So you want to be thriving creatively and releasing new pieces of art consistently. I know. The problem is you're not living up to your creative potential, and this makes you feel helpless and lost. Hey creators, Aimon here, and this is where I explore my creative philosophies through video. And today we are talking about creative friends and how they will change your life and how to find them as well. So one of the biggest things that has helped me create consistently over the years is having creative friends. And look, I'm a creator whether I like it or not. And sometimes I definitely don't like it. But the thing is, during those times, I hang out with my creative friends and I refresh and reflect on kind of what's going on in my creative life and in my life. And look, sometimes we create together and sometimes we don't. But regardless, the vibes that get thrown around between people that are on your level, they end up lifting your creative output and your mindset. And it's like magic. It's kind of like the secret sauce to creativity.
Big dog, how are we?
Hey mate, good.
What are we doing today?
Just shooting a podcast.
Shooting a couple of podcasts. Everyone keeps asking about the studio. Almost fell over, mate. Yeah, everyone's always surprised when they come in and check out the studio. This is our podcast setup. What are we going to talk about today, mate? What are we going to talk about?
Mate, well, I don't actually know, to be honest, but we have Elise. She runs a podcast called Trillions, interviewing millionaires and billionaires.
Come on, we're not going to give away everything to our audience. Get meta.
If you're a creative, then you know that interacting with other people affect your creativity, your output, and your overall mood a lot. Chances are you're a little bit more sensitive than most, and because your creativity comes in waves, you have to find ways to keep those waves going. So what I'm saying is my favorite way to do this is through creative friends. I didn't always have creative friends though. Hey, while you're listening, by the way, scroll down a little bit, click that red button and scroll back up. Let's keep going. Before I realized this was a huge factor in my life, I definitely had creative friends, but it wasn't like a consistent discipline that I included in my routine intentionally. And I wasn't connecting with new creative people extremely often. I wanted to be releasing new music, new videos, new podcasts, weekly and pushing my business every week. I had so many creative endeavors, but I didn't really have an effective way to kind of channel it all to do it effectively. Not you. So that's my dog. She is the director of these videos. Hey, she just wants pizza. I loved all of my creative projects, but sometimes I just wasn't progressing as much as I would like to. And sometimes I wouldn't create for months and I wouldn't know why. I knew that something wasn't right, but I didn't quite know what. I was making a lot of music, and it wasn't until I got super involved with the music and festival scene that I started to make a few creative friends, a few friends that were into this specific kind of niche that I was into. And started seeing them regularly, and then started hanging out with them outside of festivals and music, and eventually started to actually create some music with them.
It's full. Log on. Yeah. We're setting up the safe camp, aren't we?
Yeah. I was carrying an esky for like 100 meters.
I've always been into video and making videos, but making videos by yourself is much, much harder than making music by yourself, as I'm sure some of you can imagine. I was consistently crushing out videos in uni, but they weren't exactly the kind of videos that I wanted to be making, so that kind of dropped off because it's definitely much harder to do those by yourself. At first it was pretty hard just going out and putting stuff out there, connecting with people that are into the same things as you, and then taking it from seeing people at gigs to the point where you're like hanging with them at the house and vibing, making music with them. Again, that's a difficult kind of step to take, and it's like you don't really know how to do that. What I slowly started to realize is that everyone who's creative just wants to create and make things just like you. I started to see myself in other people. And as I was adapting to making creative friends, I became more confident in myself, and it became much more obvious that everyone just wanted the same thing. The hardest part was that people live such different lives. It can be hard to kind of find people that you connect with deeply, that are really similar people to you. But also, everyone lives busy lives. It's kind of hard to have some consistency with creative friends, and also finding ones that you vibe with creatively, but also as people. I'd collaborate with some people and it was fun, and I'd learn things, and we'd make something, but we wouldn't finish it, and then next minute they just drop off the face of the planet. And it's obviously everyone's busy, like that's just how kind of life goes. But what I'm saying is it was kind of hard to get some consistency and find some people that are really keen to just always hang and always make things.
Too smashed.
How do you feel about my friends so far, Jono?
Especially in this day and age, everyone's busy and everyone's doing their own thing, and also people just don't really like going outside and connecting with people, it seems. Everyone's little bit afraid, but again, that's a whole nother issue for probably another video. So it became a process of, finding new people to vibe with and connect with, and I eventually got good at it because I realized that it was a process and you have to kind of go through this process to find new people to connect with. After years of putting myself out there, I now have several really good, reliable, kind of creative friend groups, and they're creative for different reasons. Some people I'll make videos with, some people I'll make music with, some people I'll just hang with and they're creative, but we don't necessarily create together. And I gain new ones all the time. The internet is a crazy place and you can find whatever you're looking for everywhere and anywhere you look. You just have to be a little bit creative in finding them. The thing is, you attract what you put out there. So you have to put yourself out there both physically and digitally. And I'd say that digitally is even more important.
We're out here, Venice Beach, yo. You got Namia, Madeline Duke, Jen Rose on the camera. There they are, they're writing these bird things.
Posting what you feel and doing what you feel and finding exactly what you love and making sure you kind of hone that thing and put it out there, show everyone that that's what you're doing, not from an egotistical, give me all the likes kind of standpoint, but just to kind of show that like, hey, this is what I'm doing. And if you're keen on that thing too, like, let's hang out, let's do some stuff together. You have to find exactly what you love doing and triple down on that thing and, do your best to be consistent and it will just come. Creative friends will just kind of come out of anywhere. And, the other thing is, I'm sure a lot of friends that you already have probably really want to create, but perhaps they either don't know where to start or they haven't really refined like what it is that they want to create with. So, if you can be a little bit encouraging, you say, hey, I'm going to film a video today, why don't you help me? And you kind of involve them and film a bit of them and, get everyone involved and actually have a bit of fun with them. Then all of a sudden, you've just recruited a creative friend, my friend. So the more you do these things, the more people will kind of come out of the woodwork and you'll be connecting with people that you would have only dreamed of connecting with. And it's going to start to get weird. No.
Oh, damn!
In short, you have to get clear with what it is that you actually want to spend your time doing on this planet and do it like you're the only one on the planet, and people will see your passion and people will be attracted to your passion. Trust me. I can't even tell you how many people have just randomly DM'd me to say, hey man, love your vibe, like what are you all about? Struck up conversation with me. And then, within a few weeks I'm actually hanging out with that person and next minute we're best buds. It's like you literally just attract people if you are just vibing out and doing the thing that you really love doing and making sure that everyone can see that what you're doing, you're passionate about it and you are actively putting yourself out there. And look, I don't want to underplay it or understate it. It's a really hard thing to do to actually put yourself out there. But what you realize when you actually start to take those steps is that it's like a ripple effect. And when you get some momentum going, it'll just keep going and you won't be able to stop it. And your confidence will build as you do it. You just have to take that first step, take that second step, and it will just continue, So look, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You're gonna get dogged and you're gonna get screwed over, both creatively and financially. I've definitely lost a few friends due to ego, and you'll find that creatives definitely have egos sometimes, and that definitely doesn't exclude me. And sometimes it's really sad because a relationship will just go down the drain when you thought it was something that was good, but you kind of have to make sure you take everything with a grain of salt and realize that everyone's just trying their best, and everyone just wants to create, and sometimes what they're creating doesn't really align with what you're creating in this moment, or at least that's how I'm trying to convince myself, because some people just go rogue on you and they disappear or they turn into a complete, you can imagine. Or maybe you've actually had creative friends that have screwed you over. So let me know about that in the comments. Actually, no, don't let me know about that. I want to hear about something positive. I'm going to ask you something positive soon instead. I don't want to hear about your negative stories. See, I've definitely had my fair share of horrible creative situations. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely not all fun. But these are the things that actually come with trying to do anything. You're never just going to try and do something and it's just going to be amazing the whole time. You're always going to fall over and things are going to go down that you don't necessarily really like. That's just how life goes, So now I try to balance my solo creativity with my creative friends. I make music, I make videos, I make podcasts, working on a few different businesses as well. I'm living a life which seems so surreal because of just how high the vibes are. I know I say vibes a lot, but I'm not sorry because I love that word. And it definitely comes down to my attitude, my passion, and my discipline. that one is not to be understated, because you know, if you're creative one week and then you're not for 4 weeks, like you can never really expect anything really good to kind of come out of that. You have to be consistent and you have to get up, have a schedule, set some goals. You know, these are all things which I'll cover in another video, and these are all part of, you know, the creative process. But obviously discipline is a huge part of creating consistently and attracting people that are doing the same kind of thing. And look, I still find myself on the low of the creative wave, but then I just hang out with some of these friends that I've made, or try and connect with new friends. And you know, even if they're not friends that end up in anything, just actually the connecting process, seeing what other people are up to, seeing if they have a different creative process, just that connection. And you know, even if you don't actually make anything with them, you'll be back up there surfing that wave in no time. So guys, never stop, okay? Never stop creating, never stop reaching out to people. You go on Instagram, go on YouTube, Facebook groups, you know, find your tribe. Like, all you have to do is really think about who it is that you want to be connecting with, where they might be hanging out, and go out there and get out there. Because even if you have a lot of creative friends, you know, you can always have more, because you might find something you actually connect with on a deeper level than perhaps some of the friends you have already. Or you can collaborate and make something amazing with someone that's just around the corner in your life, but you know, you haven't reached out, or you haven't done the potential groundwork to find and meet that person. So magic is literally waiting for you everywhere, and it's in the form of creativity, and it requires other people. Fortunately, but also unfortunately. And look, I don't want to understate the value of creating by yourself, because that's also extremely important. Finding your own time, finding some alone time, reflecting by yourself and creating when you can. But all I'm saying is, a huge part of my life has been actually having creative friends, so that when it's potentially not really working, you can go and hang out with them, and it raises you up, you know, and you can make with them. And some of the things you make with other people, you just learn so much. It's crazy, because with music and video in particular, there's a million different ways to do things, and seeing how someone else does something as opposed to seeing how you do it can be mind-blowing, because you're like, I never would have thought of that. Never in a million years would I have thought of that. And it's wrong. You shouldn't be doing it that way. No, sometimes you do take things back and you integrate it, you know? So finding your tribe and having a reason to reach out and connect with them. Always try and provide value first, because some people might actually be, you know, potentially a little bit bigger than you. They might not even be in the same country as you, and you want to collaborate with them because you really like and respect their art, and that's awesome. You can't just reach out and ask for something. You have to provide them with value up front. You know, whether it's feedback on their art, or how much you love their tunes, or you know, anything. Maybe you can offer them some artwork or something that actually helps them do what they're doing. You know, that's been key for myself. And you know, especially like, I have so many people that I collaborate with in music that I've never met in real life, because they're in complete other countries, you know, and that's crazy. And then, you know, I'll go to that other country, for example, not right now, obviously, but in the past, you know, you go to another country and you actually connect and hang out with that person in real life, and you stay at their house. And when that happens, that is mind-blowing. You know, shout out Future Collective. That's been huge. I went and stayed with my friend in Portland in 2018, all because I kind of connected with them through the internet like 4 years prior to that. It's really, really mind-blowing what can happen and the possibilities of it. And based on my experience, I would encourage you to push yourself to find some new creative friends. The more people you connect with, the more people will want to connect with you. And the more vibes you put out there, the more art and, you know, the more creative stuff you actually put out into the world. Yeah, you get a little bit of hate, but you also get some positive feedback. And every time you do it, it's an opportunity to connect with people, even if it's a photo on Instagram, you know? It's all creative output. Creators, thank you so much for watching this video. I'd love to know, have some stories that you have with some creative friends of yours below. If you have some time to leave a comment, that would just make my day, and I love responding to them. So yeah, if you have any stories about, you know, if you've connected with people creatively, or gotten up to some crazy mischief, or made something amazing and stayed up till 5 in the morning. God knows I've done that so many times. I want to hear about it. Thank you so much for your time. It was so good to hang out with you guys today, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep creating.